attrition might mean I might just not turn up. Thank you. Welcome back to the Navigation Safety Bylaw hearing, third round. Welcome to anybody online. We'll start with a quick whakatauki. He rau ringa e oti ai, which means many hands make light work. So that's an opportunity, particularly for me to thank staff and submitters, but staff particularly for the ongoing work and efforts that they've made to help us get this as good as it can be. So it is my intention to hear from staff report, and then go back through the changes that we requested and check them for intent. We shouldn't have to go back through the whole bylaw because we as a group did that last time, so it's just those changes. But I do have another matter to cover. You'll notice that there are only 2 hearing panel members here today. Councillor Rodway has sent this following statement regarding his absence. Following legal advice, I wish to advise that I wish to recuse myself from the rest of the hearing. So Councillor Rodway has sought some advice and feels that it's better if he does not participate any further. So thank Councillor Rodway for his work thus far and acknowledge that statement. Thank you. Right.
Yep. So, I mean, the report it's brief, essentially about confirming that the amendments that we've made with the direction from yourselves from a few weeks ago. We were able to make many of the changes on the day, but just those bigger ones we need to go away and have another look at, particularly Schedule 2.3 Lake Tiana. So that's probably the main amendment for your review today. And then there were 2 minor amendments and tidy up that I noticed are not included in your document. So they're quite small, so I thought when we're ready to begin, I can share the document on screen and then we can cover those first.
Great. Just sorry, can we just go back a step and be reminded of the overview of the where this sits in the legal framework. So with the Maritime Transport Act, the RMA, and any other crossover acts that this applies to, just so that we are reminded of why we're here.
Yep.
Thanks.
Yeah, so Section 33M of the Maritime Transport Act provides that the Navigation Safety Bylaw may be made for the purpose of ensuring maritime safety in the region. The section lists a range of matters that can be regulated to achieve that purpose, so that section full is relevant in terms of the context and the scope of the bylaw. It must not be inconsistent with the maritime rules, the RMA, and a few other pieces of legislation. So part of our work was consultation with the Director of Maritime New Zealand, which is required under the Act. So that consultation, it didn't involve commenting on specific area matters. It was more just to ensure that the bylaw didn't go outside the scope of the powers of the Council, and that there was no inconsistency with the Act and the maritime rules.
And the purpose of a navigation safety bylaw is?
To ensure maritime safety within the region.
Okay. Righto. Are you right there, Councillor?
Yes.
Okay. Jess, do you want to take us through those? Giano? Yep.
Yeah, my documents.
Thanks.
Oh wait, sorry, I have to join the meeting first. Just while I do that, sorry, I'll just acknowledge that Michelle is online as well from the Williams. He did have further questions.
Do you have anything around the Act or the purpose of the bylaw?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely clear.
A bit of a double negative sometimes, so it can be a wee bit confusing. Have you got piano piece?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm having trouble sharing my screen.
Come on, take the time.
There we go. I might just change that. A lot of people don't like the dark mode on.
I have dark mode on, but there we go.
So maybe I'll just start with those two very small amendments that I noticed when I was just starting with harbour. There was just an piece in the table. That I have recommended is removed, just so it's about.
Yep, right.
So there's that one, and then down to YO. We talked about last time removing reference to the where, so we did that for B, but we didn't cover C on the day, so it's not in your document unfortunately, but I've removed it from C, from the where to the monophony link control structure. That's just highlighted in grey.
Great, yeah.
Two small bits. And then yeah, we can head to the Lake Tiano methods. So a few weeks ago, you had asked us to provide for a safe swimming area and a passive recreation area to allow for various activities to be undertaken there with support craft, and including the jetty down to the point. So you'll see on the map there, that's what we had done. And then we just go to the clauses tab, we've drafted it, enables that shared activity in the passive recreation zone, but does provide for a swimming area where vessels cannot navigate. And we have we've added G and H just for clarity for users in the area.
Okay. Questions, councillor?
No, I believe that G and H will, through some of the submissions, the submitters, that will fulfil their thoughts, and that will be, it's actually really good the way it's written, I like it.
My only question was the ease of understanding for the irregular users, and how things like to the west by a line extending lakeward from the point on the shore at, etc. How that is manifested for the, kind of the irregular users who might do that. How does that work?
Yeah, I mean, that sort of part, it is difficult looking with the water where there's no boundary.
Yeah.
It sort of forms part of education that goes along with something like this, and the work that Conley and his team will do for signage and that sort of thing, which I think have really started thinking how they can show the community that on site.
Okay, yeah, because the submitters are pretty invested, so they will either make the effort or they'll already understand. It's the casual, tourist in a camper van.
Yeah. And we plan to have a very clear physical marking system, but to have that in the bylaw, which might be something that you know, if we said it'll be marked with a full yellow pole, and then it turns out that yellow poles are really hard to come by, and we ended up using a pyramid structure or something like that, then so we thought that we'd just have that wording in there, and then we'll clearly mark it. So if somebody was a casual user, they'd look down the beach and say, oh, that's obviously the boundary because there's floats and a marker and a sign. Yeah.
And it embeds it for staff changeover as well. I guess you're not relying on somebody's memory.
No.
You've got particular details for it. So that's good.
Yeah, and I suppose to highlight the fact that this is that same issue has been an issue for years. That's not going to change. It's just we're changing the boundaries or the areas, and regular users will be able to know where those boundaries and areas are. And if someone does turn up that doesn't know that, and they look down the beach and go, oh well, obviously this is a passive area because there's no boats.
Yes.
If you know what I mean, it's so that's it's been happening over the years, the same as it would happen in the future. I can imagine.
Even on busy days, very rarely will you actually have to go down there and ask a boat to move, because you know, you go to any other nice beach and there's a heap of boats, and even an inexperienced person, they go past and there's a beach with no boats, and they'll either think, I'm not allowed to be there, or there's some unknown hazard that I don't know about, but I'm not going to go and plough into it. So, and that's just virtually an unspoken local rule that more than 99.9% of people adhere to. We're just sort of formalising it, and it'll be definitely more clearly marked without question, particularly the swimming area. We've got some plans there where, you know,
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, and you know, bylaws for the 0.1%, the 0.01%, isn't it? Really. Okay. The other question I had about that was, I'm remembering a conversation about wake and the speeds at which you make less wake. And G1 and 2 refer to not creating unnecessary wake, but also leaving the area by the shortest, and I'm guessing some people will interpret that as also fastest safe route once their support function is finished. So I just need to be sure that those two things, not making unnecessary wake, fits with shortest route out.
Yes, that's right. And it is a 5-knot area too, so vessels shouldn't be going faster than that.
Right.
Safe route.
Yes, safe, but some people will read shortest and interpret that as fastest. Okay. Any more questions about the Te Anau conditions of use or the map?
No, it looks like it fulfills what a lot of the submitters required. I know through some of the confines of our ability to allow multiple users, we've come out with what I believe is the best option to entail all of those submitters' concerns and needs. So I think it's very good and very well done.
Yes.
Well thought out.
And not just theirs, but ours as the bylaw holder.
Splitting it into two separate areas it reduces the risk of different activities that don't go together that well. It gives people that don't have a boat somewhere safe that they can take their kids, and then but it's not overly restrictive, and it's not it shouldn't affect the yacht club's ability to do what they've been doing for a long time. So I think we're in a pretty good spot.
Right. And thanks for helping us make that work.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so we're okay with those changes.
I'm
that
extremely
reading.
happy and okay.
Right, just check the advisory note. Okay. So we can tick that one off. Jess, did you want to go back over any of the, or was it 4? Do you want to go over the YO?
Not at all, no, that looks good. It's only one small change there. With regards to the uplift, so no, that's fine.
The only question I have is regarding the conversation we had about a safe distance away from the lake control structure and finding the happy place that was safe enough for people to be moving perhaps slowly and not getting sucked down to the lake control structure. So can you just elaborate on your explanation on that?
Yes, so I think the speed uplift, it doesn't prohibit anyone going right up to the control structure. It just limits their speed around it. So I'm not sure that that's the right mechanism to have not a reserved area, but perhaps an area that's closed for navigation. So I think that that could be looked at separately to this. And in the event that a vessel did come out from the confluence and enter into another bit of current that they weren't expecting, and they ended up closer to heading downstream, restricting their speed to exit that area wouldn't ensure navigation safety, it would hinder it. So I think speed uplift right through that area, and then we can look at if we have any issues or problems, we could look at a not a reserved area, but some type of standoff in the directions or something like that.
Does that also cover off the accessibility of the launching area, or? Because I'm just trying to get my head around the changes that they're making to the lake control structure feeder.
The confluence.
Feeder bit down the side. None of that, you've taken all of that into consideration, the changes that are going on there. Yeah. Is there a launching area there still?
There is one in the consent. I was going through it this morning. There is one proposed for there, but whether or not it's going to remain after those works is unclear. It's sort of referred to as a temporary vessel launching structure. So I'm not too sure, but with the new channel, it should actually allow vessels to be further away from that control structure as opposed to it. So I think that it will be, once that's completed, it'll be overall a little bit safer area.
Good. Yes, because I'm trying to recall the launching area from the consent hearing for that. Glad you know. Okay.
Pearl Harbour was launching area at Pearl Harbour through to there.
Okay, so you're
You
comfortable
were
with
talking about the
reading?
consent there.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with that.
So pursuant to clause 20, speed restrictions set out in clause 9.1 do not apply to the designated speed uplifted area of the Whale from Home Creek to the confluent Mararoa River. And we've added to the C and removed D. Right? Okay. Thank you, that's good. Just before I forget, the next page, map 2.7, we discussed the Mararoa Station Bridge and the Mararoa Road Bridge. So I note that you've got the road bridge in. Can you give us the rest?
Yeah, that is the road name.
How rude. Okay, even though it's commonly known, seems to be commonly known as the Station Bridge.
Yeah, it seems to be known by different names, but yeah, we've gone with what the road is called, and that was what we received in the submission too, so
Right.
that's our choice for that.
Okay, that seems reasonable, because if somebody was looking it up on the map, that's what they would get,
Yes.
correct?
That's exactly right. You're talking about the incidental users. If they were to think, where do we go, and they put it into Google Maps, that name will bring it up,
Yeah,
drop a pin on it, and it'll give them,
right.
rather than a local user who already knows where that is.
Yeah, understood. Thank you. That's good. Clear that off.
thank you. That was good that you clarified that, because I personally would call it Marrow Station Bridge, but when looking on maps, it's definitely Marrow Road.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Just trying to make the information as easily accessible to
Yes.
as wide a group of people as possible.
Yep.
And I've been up there not long ago with flooding and everything, and it's, you know, still Marrow Station Bridge in my head, but Marrow Road Bridge, yes, definitely.
Okay, Aparima, next, yes.
We didn't have any further changes to
No,
that one.
and the Oriti. Same. Yep, great. Those were the two main ones, weren't they?
Yep.
Yep. The other ones, we debated at length, some of those changes to the, particularly the tops of the rivers. Without contrary evidence, we have
Agreed on the recommendation.
gone with the recommendations from staff who are experts. So, anything else? Here's my note. Evans, any
No, nothing else that I
things?
noticed.
There's no backfill in the rest of the bylaw that these changes have affected. Jet skis. Oh man, I had a heap of time spent getting my head around the map numbers. Because I'm like, wait, but where's map 2.5? But I see that they're done in slightly different order, so it does make sense. Okay, Councillor Evans, we seem to be at a point where those further submissions have been covered and agreed upon for the speed uplift areas, and we went back into the Tiano discussion as well. So that pretty much finishes the process. However, I am going to not close the hearing. I'm going to adjourn the hearing once more. I'm sorry.
Excuse me, Chair. Are you going to deal with any of the recommendations?
Yes, but I'm just,
Sorry.
yeah. Yeah. Because there are a couple of legal questions that I just want to cover off. So I don't anticipate that taking longer than a week, and then we will reconvene to finally cover the final recommendation. I'm just looking for the recommendations on the many pieces of paper right there. So we can only approve recommendations 1 and 2. Yes, because the recommendation to council will come at the next adventure. Is that correct? Yep. So we'll move and approve the first recommendation, which is to receive the report and draft navigation safety bylaw, and to note that the purpose of the reconvened hearing is to confirm the drafting of the provisions and maps that staff were directed to review and tidy up following the hearing process on the 4th of August. So we have done those things. Are you all right with that, Councillor?
agreement, so.
Thank you. All right, those are approved. And at this point, I don't have a date for the reconvening, but I'm hoping late next week, possibly early the week after. Right. Thank you, everybody, for coming again. We'll see you in a wee while. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sorry, one more try.